Hello, everybody. This is Christopher Sanchez of the C&D Corner, or that's what the podcast I'm usually on. But this time, I'm trying something new where it's just Chris's Corner, where I just talk about topics that's been in my mind the last few weeks, or the last weekly topics. Anyways, I always forget to say this. Like and subscribe if you enjoy hearing me, enjoy all the crap spewing out my mouth, because there's going to be a lot of that right now. Okay, so I'm fighting off a cold. I'm actually been kind of sick for the last couple of days. Not COVID, but I've been fighting off a cold. It's been kind of like kicking my ass. Today I've been feeling a little better, and I just have a cough, and I kind of sound congested. But besides that, I feel okay. Okay, so the topic I want to talk about is relationships and guys and girls being friends. And I mean, okay, so I was on a date the other day, and this girl shows me she shows me her phone, and she goes like, "Look, this is my best friend." I don't know why she had to state that, but she goes, "This is my best friend." And I'm like, I'm not really insecure, but I just thought, I kind of saw it as a red flag. I was like, okay, why are you telling me this? And I was kind of like, oh, okay. And I told her that's kind of weird. And I said, and in my head later, we started getting a conversation about it. And I go, well, I have the philosophy that guys and girls can't be friends. I know it sounds like, what? You misogynist, you sexist, you etc. But the reason I think guys and girls can't be friends, I mean, of course you can be friends with anybody, but if you guys have a silent, or not even silent, if you state there's a mutual agreement between both of y'all that you can't be together, and you know that, then fine, be friends. But I always have this thing where if you're interested in a woman or interested in a person, and you have to state your intentions and make them clear, so you don't look like a fool later, Like, oh, I thought you liked me, what the heck? You don't look like a fool. And also, I think most guys, especially at a younger age, around my age, they're friends with girls that they find sexually attractive, and the girl already made it obvious that they don't like them, but they pray that the day where they're like, oh man, maybe one day the chink in her armor will break and she'll like me, or maybe they have that that doubt, and they hope that the fucking moon is full, and she, what I mean? They have a secret underlying intentions, and which is kind of weird, because why would you want a friend that has a secret motive? Oh man, I want to fuck you, that's kind of weird, in my opinion. Man, I'm losing my train of thought. I actually have a coworker who recently, I'm not going to state his name, and he told me he doesn't mind me talking about it, so cool. He's he's been cheating on his wife, and I gave him advice, and I told him, this is what you got to do. You either have other options. You either can confront your wife, and he's cheating on his wife with a coworker. And I told him, you can either tell your wife, tell her what you did, and be honest, and just face the consequences, face the music. Or you could tell that girl, hey, listen, what we did, it was nice, but I have to be a good father, because he has a kid. I have to be a good father and do what's good for my family, and we can't continue doing this. I hope we end things on good terms, and I hope we just be good coworkers, And I'm giving him options, and I tell him the third option is just to keep cheating and fuck it, be selfish, which is the worst option in my opinion. And he tells me yeah, we already fucked, we already hooked up, and I'm like, oh really? Great, right? And I tell him he's like, and I'm giving, after I told him all that, I tell him, he's like, yeah, I think about ending it, but maybe I just hit it one more time. And I'm like, bro, it's I'm giving you advice, and you're just sinking deeper. It's bro, and I feel and he's like, oh yeah, she's been calling me in the middle of the night, and the other day she called me at 2 a.m. and I was sleeping, and my wife was sleeping, and she saw, and blah blah. And I'm over here bro, this is I already told him, this is like a volcano, and it's gonna erupt. Like, you just don't know when, and the longer you continue this behavior, the more likely it's gonna erupt and blow up in your face, and it's gonna be bad for everybody. And she's married too, like the the girl he's with that he's cheating. Anyways, and I told him, it's like, bro, like it's like I give you advice, but it feels like, like I'm helping the murderer. I'm helping the murderer. I'm helping, like, the person creating the issues. And I'm like, bro, I'm trying to give you, options. He's like, yeah, I appreciate it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm over here like, okay. I said my piece, and I think lately I had a follow up with him, and he told me that he's ending things with her, but she's like still bringing him gifts and stuff. And I'm like telling him, like, no, bro, you have to just be honest, direct, not too rude, because I feel like with those kind of things, you got to be really careful, because this is why I would never marry at a young age, because when you marry at a young age, it's kind of like, it's like you're kind of trapping yourself already. I know people are going to give me a lot of flack about that. Like, oh, what do you mean trapping yourself? Love is love, and love is forever. Yeah, whatever. That's some Hollywood shit. I think having multiple relationships is good for you in a way, because you learn what you appreciate in somebody, and you learn what you don't appreciate, and what you value in someone, and what you don't value in someone. And like, that's why most first relationships are like bad, or end on, like, you learn a lot. It's learning for both parties. Anyways, to me, in my opinion, I would never cheat if I was married. It's like, that's what the ring is for, like, hey, lady, sorry, you're cute and all, whatever, but I'm married, maybe I'm a simp like that. But whatever. Yeah, man, I sound so congested. Anyways, he's like, kind of basically the moral of the story. So he shot himself in the foot, and he's asking, like, how do I pull the bullet out? And I told him how, and he's like, what if I push it in deeper? It's like, you can do that, but I don't recommend it. Anyways, I have this other friend, or I consider him a friend lately, because he's been someone I've been enjoying talking to at work, and we have good conversations, and we kind of run the same age, and we get along a little. And he has he says ex. Well, basically, he says it's his ex, and that she lately has been like, she's currently with somebody, and she's messaging him, telling him, like, hey, we should hang out, and blah, 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 and we should go out and, go out to eat, or whatever, etc. And I told him, like, he was asking me, like, what do I say? It's funny, because a lot of people ask me about relationships advice, but it's like, I just tell them, like, what the morally right decision is to do, and it's like, sorry, my chihuahua was running around. It's like, I just tell him what the morally correct thing is to do. Like, like, the easy thing to do. Okay, let me rephrase. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. So his ex is currently in a relationship with somebody, and she's asking to hang out with him. That's a major red flag in my opinion, because if I was dating someone and she's over here hanging out with some guy one-on-one, who knows what, it's not like a loyalty. It's like, oh, well, you don't trust your significant other. It's not that. It's more like you're leaving space for, you're kind of like, you're like, how can I say this? Like, I don't think she's telling him, like, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with, blah, blah, blah. And if she is, then he's an idiot. just the truth, like, why would you want your significant other hanging out with a guy or the opposite sex? It's so stupid. It's like, no, like, what the fuck you mean you can hang out with your ex? Like, no. And I told him, like, she's either using you for validation and attention, or she wants to cheat on her ex with you, or I don't know what the other option is. She likes you still, but I mean, like, come on, man. If she liked you, she wouldn't be dating someone else. That's the thing. If someone really likes you and enjoys you and wants you, they'll make it known and they'll make it obvious. That's why I say it's good to state your intentions clearly, because if someone knows you want them and you want them as equally, then you'll make it work. You'll make it work as fast as possible. You're not gonna, tiptoe around, and no, you're gonna go, okay, you're mine and I'm yours, and perfect. The goal for relationships, I already described that. And sometimes guys do the same thing, where they'll talk to girls and use them. They'll use them for attention and validation. Sometimes just to hook up, because they know they can. You know what I mean? But like, people always want what they can't have, and I've been guilty of that lately. I've been kind of well, lately I've been kind of realizing my faults because I had like rose tinted glasses on. I don't know if I'm saying that phrase correctly, but I had them on where I was interested in somebody, and she made it clear that she wanted me, and then when I wanted her, in the future, cause I told her things are going a little too quickly, maybe more time, and then we can start. And then when a few weeks came by, I was like, you know what, maybe I'm ready to have a relationship with you. Maybe we can start. And she was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. See, that's mixed signals right there. That's a whole different subject. But basically, that was another red flag. And I told her, like, listen, I already stated my intentions, what I want, and if you don't want that, and I think this is where like she got really offended. But I'm a dude. Like, I'm not gonna bullshit. I'm not gonna be, oh, okay, you don't want to be with me? Okay, let's keep hanging out and talking. No, fuck that. I just made it clear. I was like, listen, if you don't want to be with me, great. But I can't continue doing this because I know what I bring to the table, and I value myself, and I value my own opinions, and I value who I am, and I'm not gonna sit here and look like a fool my whole life. I'm not gonna look like a fool. Why I can be with somebody else who would love to be with me, and I would love to be with. And man, she got upset. But it's the truth. You always want to make your intentions clear, and you don't want to be like, oh well, I wonder what they're thinking. Like, you want them to know the facts. Anyways, what's next? And if you're in a relationship and you find someone else attractive, you have to suppress the urge, or you have to suppress the urge of attraction. You have to suppress that urge. I mean, you're in a relationship, you find someone else attractive, you can tell they're flirting with you, but you have to suppress that urge and be like, no, I respect myself and I respect my significant other. I can't do this. It's not good for me. What the fuck am I doing? Like, that's immature. That's an immature mindset. And you shoot yourself in the foot, and you fuck everything over. And that at that point, that relationship's already a failure, and it's never gonna become what it once was. You know what I mean? The purity of that relationship is gone, and you're gonna keep chasing a facade that's already. Anyways, it's always good. And then, like, if the relationship doesn't work, and you can see, like, this is like what I was telling him, like, you have to realize she's probably just using you for attention and validation. And most women do when they're already in a relationship. Or women and guys too. I'm not being sexist. But I think women do it a lot more because they know that guys will like drool over them if they just give them the slightest attention. And guys have to find it within themselves, and women too. But I only can speak for guys because I'm a guy, to say, no, you know what? I'll find an opportunity somewhere else. I'll pull away and move on, because you'll just torture yourself with the thought of like, well, we could have had this and we could have had that. Like, nah, don't do that to yourself. What else? Oh, this is a recent thing. This is literally happened like last night or 2 nights ago. This girl was like sending me like audio messages about her ex that she broke up with, and she says like, oh, I was so happy, like, and I was only talking to her because like I thought they broke up, and then like when I was sleeping, she sends me all these audio messages. Like, I'm telling you, she might as well have just called me because it was a fucking like hour audio message, and she's telling me like, oh well, like we broke up and I was happy, and then my ex got in a fight with his family, and then he was moving out. This is all from her, I don't know the real story, but she's like, and he was moving out, and then like he was asking his parents about where his guns were at, and he got mad and he smashed his dad's windshield. They're such an asshole for calling the cops on him. I'm like, bruh, sounds like he has like he's emotionally unhinged, and I told her like, he's your ex, why do you even care? And she's like, yeah, but then I gotta collect call later, and like he was telling me like, I do this thing with people where I imitate their voice. I need to stop doing that, but I do that a lot. She's like, oh well, like he called me and told me what happened, and I've been going to the jail, and like we can't see face to face, but we can FaceTime or whatever when we're there, and they have this whole system and blah blah. And I'm like, bro, he's your ex. Like, why the hell are you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and she's like, oh well, I still love him, and that's why I pull the brakes. I go, oh, I'm out of here. And I just made my intentions clear. I go, you're delusional. Like, why are you, why are you with somebody who's not, you know what I mean? Like, you're not even with this person, so you say, and you're over here, talking to them, and now I'm gonna start writing him letters because he's in jail, blah blah blah. I'm like, what a bigger sign do you need that he's a bad? But people think with their emotions, they don't think with their brain, and I'm like, he's not in love with you, he's obsessed with you, because if he really respected the fact that you guys broke up, he wouldn't be reaching out. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's another subject for another. But yeah, and then once I told her that, she was like, fuck you, I'm blocking you, you're an asshole, I knew you wouldn't understand, blah blah blah, I need my peace, blah blah, I'm blocking you. And I'm like, okay, like, what do you think I was gonna say? Like, yeah, keep messaging him. Like, I'm not fucking stupid. Like, come on, man. It's like, that guy's in jail, and you're obsessing over him, and he's over here talking like, we're gonna get married and have kids. It's like, bruh, like, and this is like what I said, like, was one of her first real relationships. So in her brain, she lives in this like weird la la land facade where it's like, oh, he's the one, and blah blah blah. There's billions of people in the world. You think that person is the only one who's ever gonna love you? Come on, man. Yeah, let me see what else I got. I don't want to end it, but like, I don't want this to go too long because this is my first solo podcast. I want to keep it kind of light, kind of short. Moral of the story is, don't prioritize your free time or your time in general around women or around friends. Like I said, I only speak for guys. Like, if you're a girl listening to this, then men. But you should never prioritize your time around somebody. You should be focusing on your goals, focusing on your hobbies, focusing on your work, your craft, whatever's making you happy, your aspirations, because that's what people find attractive. People find people who are attractive. If all your free time was just to be with the other person, the other sex, it's like you would get fucking annoyed with them. You know what I mean? It's like, unless you've been together for so long, then you're used to being together a lot. But like, if it's just starting, that's not what you want to do. You don't want to overbear them with the amount of time and effort you give. You don't want to put them on a pedestal, basically. And I think that's what I was kind of guilty of that, because I was kind of like in my opinion, I was kind of like, but it was a miscommunication overall in both parties. I'm not like the person to blame the other, like, oh, it was my fault, it was their fault. It was both people's faults. In reality, like, I just saw that maybe it's not a good time, and maybe I need to find someone else, or I need to focus my own stuff. I need to focus my own hobbies, my whole, like podcasting. I want to do this because I think it's cool voicing my thoughts and sharing it to others. If anyone is curious enough or wants to sit down and listen to me talk about shit, because I enjoy talking, I enjoy getting to know other people, I enjoy learning lessons from others, I enjoy seeing like situations others are in, and I learn from them, and I want you guys to learn too. I wrote this down. I'll probably end it soon. I go, if someone says ever offends you, and I'm talking about like, I don't know, like, you're fat, or you're stupid, or you're ugly. It's like, a part of you knows it's kind of true. You know what I mean? Unless you're like, you're being repetitive and you're saying that all the time and you're always picking on that person, then that's a little different. But if something, those were like dumb examples, but those were basic examples. But if someone says something that offends you, like a statement or something about you, and you get really heated, a part of you knows it's kind of true, or else you wouldn't be getting that offended. Anyways, I'll end it here, and I don't want it to go too long, because, who the fuck's gonna listen to like an hour of me talking? And I don't have that much notes written down. Let me see any notes, anything else I want to write down. My grandma gave me this good quote like the other week. I think she says, this is in Spanish, so I'll say it in English. She says, the only thing you care about in life is your money, your soul, and your freedom. those three things are the things you need to value more than anything. And I really do agree with that. I think that's, it's really good. It's really good to have priorities or have things that, set a rules. I used to go to this charter school, and I'll talk about this some other time, but I used to go to charter school, and they kind of like traumatized us, but in a good way and a bad way. I have this issue where anyways, I'll talk about it some other time. But I went to a charter school, and we had a quote that we would always go by. It was called "Be nice, work hard," and it's good to have like stuff that you ingrain in yourself, because later in life you won't rely on that, but it'll help you realize what's important in life. Basically, I want to hear: become the strongest version of yourself, and people will be attracted towards you. You won't have to always approach others. And in reality, the whole goal in life is to become better, practice who you are, learn from your lessons. Don't stay stagnant. Always learn. Always be willing to learn. Try to hear others out, even if you don't agree with them. Just try to hear how they think and how they process their opinions and process their thoughts. Even if you're not in total agreement, it's good just to understand others. So it'll make it easier in the future for you to understand someone else. You know what I mean? Or be like, hey, I've heard this story before. Let me give this guy advice, And I'll end it there. Anyways, this is Chris's Corner. I hope you guys liked that. That was like the first episode, whatever you call it. Like and subscribe if you guys like this video. Comment if you guys disagree or agree with whatever I said. And I think I'll end it there. Have a good one, guys. Bye.